everybody. First off, I wanted to broadcast my bald head. It's really weird, and I still can't touch it because it doesn't feel like it's my head. And you have to lotion bald heads. I've never not had hair, so this is weird. And I'm getting little pricklies because it started to kind of grow back, but it's all gonna fall out the more chemo I get. So yeah, but this is me right now. It's gonna last for a while, but I wanted to be able to broadcast not broadcast, I already said that, just talk about the last couple of days and what's upcoming. A lot of stuff has happened. Yesterday I was put in to have my PICC line put in, and it's in my arm, and it looks crazy. And there's 3 lines. It's called a triple lumen PICC line. So they have 3 spots to put whatever they need. So one for the chemo, one for the saline solution, and one for whatever else they need. And if they don't have things flowing to it, which I think this one does, but they have these green caps to make sure that it's sanitary, so no air gets in them and all that stuff. But it sucks to have it attached to you, but it's way better than being poked and prodded every single time they need to take blood or check your vitals or chemo or anything like that. Because last time I had to have blood drawn from my hand, and I had this huge bruise in my hand for I think it was a week and a half. It was crazy, and it hurts. And I have super tiny veins, or I have super deep veins. I don't have the kind of veins that people really like. My phone is, there we go, okay. So yeah, let's see. Yes, so he's putting the PICC line in, and what they do is they have this cool little ultrasound machine where they make sure they can see where exactly the vein is at, where they want to put it, and all that fun stuff, so they could see exactly where it was. And he found one, got in it, and it all of a sudden just disappeared. And he was like, oh. And then he took another ultrasound, and all of them disappeared. So I think they all just hightailed out of there because, they were trying to protect me. But so he's like, well, we're gonna just chit chat and, welcome them back and lure them in. And I was like, okay. So he started talking, and he was telling me the story of he was new, and he was trying to it was his second time putting a PICC line in, and this woman was hysterical, and her nerves were shot, and her veins were just bad. He couldn't get in there. So he had to call another doctor that had been doing it for years, and he said that watching her do it was magic, because she sat down and just started having a normal conversation with her, and the woman was gonna get married, so they started talking about all of it, marriage plans and wedding things and all that stuff. And I'm intently listening to his story and I was like, well, that's good, and he was like, yeah. And then all of a sudden she's like, okay, you're done. And the lady was like, you're done? You did it? I didn't even realize. And I guess that's her trick. And I apologize for it being dark. It's after 11 p.m. here, and I turned all lights off because if I do get a chance to sleep, I would like to. Anyways, so while he was telling me that story, he finished my PICC line. So I was like, oh man, you duped me. And he's like, it's not duping when it works. And I was like, true, very true. Just happy with it being done. But my arm was super numb because he had to give me like 7 shots of, I think it's called like lidocaine or something. It's like a numbing solution, and it's supposed to be, it's a prick, and you can like feel it go in, and it stings and burns. And he would tell me like, okay, about to poke, you're gonna feel a poke. And I was like, did you do it? And he's like, yep, you're numb, you're good. I was like, oh, that's good. And my brain is like right now with after getting all of the chemo today. But I don't know if it's any more than it normally is. It's pretty shot all the time. But oh yeah, and then so he finished it up, they started wrapping things up, and then I was laying there and I started seeing little white lights, and I felt like a helicopter, it was like a helicopter effect was happening, and I was like, and then I felt my stomach slowly coming up to my throat, and I almost couldn't get it out, but I was like, I don't feel good. And the doctor, he said he looked over and saw that my face was like beet red. And so they jumped on it and lifted my feet up, lowered my head, put an ice pack behind my head, or on my neck, and started talking to me. And thankfully I didn't faint, which was good, but I did not like that. Did not like that at all. So I'm glad that they caught it and they got little tips and tricks and all that stuff to prevent it from happening before it's happening. So yeah, that was fun. And then we got to go back to the hotel and I took a nap and couldn't sleep last night because my sciatic nerve was messing with me, which is awesome. It's always my favorite thing when I'm like super tired and nervous for the next day. And then I had to get up at 5:45 because even though I don't have to get ready, it still takes me a very long time to get places. My admin time was 7:30 this morning. And the hotel's right across the street, so it wasn't a long walk, but I just wanted to make sure that we had enough time. But yeah, so I was admitted this morning at 7:30, and then they just started prepping me for everything, taking my vitals, blood, making sure that everything looks good, decent enough for chemo. And we started the chemo at about 2 today. And that one lasted for about 2 hours. It's the Cytoxin. There's a board right there, so I'm looking at it. I guess there's different forms of chemo. I don't know. I'm new at this. And then right now I'm getting this thing called RATG. Again, don't fully understand what that means, but they said that it's something about getting my immune system ready to like accept the stem cells back in or something. I don't know. I was like, well, you guys, it's your job, so you know what you're doing. So yeah, getting the chemo while it's happening, it's really not that bad. Literally, like I said, they just stick it in one of these and it just goes. I did feel a little tiredness, but only because she did give me Benadryl, and the second you give me Benadryl, I'm like out like a light. Yeah, it was, I like couldn't even keep my eyes open, and she was asking me questions and I was like, I think that Jeremy might have to answer you on some of these. She's like, these are really easy questions. I said, yeah, I know. And she's like, that's okay. I was done. Jeremy said I took a good hour and a half nap, so that was good. Let's see what else happened. Started the chemo. Oh, I had a visitor, which was everything that I needed that I didn't know that I needed. She is here for her 1-year checkup from receiving doing the HSCT, and she walked in wearing boots that were like, the heels were like this big. Well, honestly, they might have been bigger. I don't know. But I just was like, oh my gosh. If I could wear heels or even boots again with heels on them, I would love that. And she's super cute and super thoughtful, and she's visiting other patients that are in here while she's around, and she lives about 30 minutes away. So she's like, anytime you need me, just let me know. I'll come up, blah, blah, blah. And then I think she said she's going to be here next week as well, so I might be able to see her. But it was one of those things that, like I said, I didn't know fully that, like, I needed that. Because I was like, oh, okay, you know. And then I started thinking about all the things that her and I talked about. And, like, we talked about having to shower the night before because you couldn't shower in the morning because you were too tired after taking the shower to do anything after the shower. So you have to take breaks in between. So she said her typical 20 minutes of getting ready would turn into 3 hours. And my time to get ready, when I had all my hair and stuff, because, you know, I love doing my makeup and my hair and matching all my clothes, and I work in an office, so I like to take my time. It would take me a while, so it's been taking me a lot more of time, only because I have to take breaks in between each and everything I do, which is super fun. I'm trying not to go on a tangent this time, but I'm pretty sure it's happening, and it's already happening, so they said that my worst days will be, and it's on my calendar, days -2 through +2, which on the calendar, it's this upcoming Saturday through the following Wednesday. So I think that I'm just going to be down, like just out for the count for those days. I'm just going to sleep. Because last time with the 1 small dose of chemo, I slept for 19 hours straight. So receiving these 4 doses of chemo, harsh chemo, I think I'm going to sleep like a lot more than 19 hours, but we'll see. And no, we won't see. We'll see how many hours I actually get clocked in. Yeah, I am super nervous about doing all this and feeling low like I did last time. I just know that, like, the outcome of it all, and that was the main reason why it was so good for her to come and visit me today. And she said that when she got home, she rearranged her living room furniture because she had so much energy from all the steroids and everything. And then she said that she remembers how she felt before she was diagnosed, and she feels amazing compared to that. And that is something that I cannot wait for. Like, oh my gosh, that would be so awesome. No, it's not would be, it is going to be awesome because it's going to work and it's going to happen. Just try to make sure that I don't forget anything. They got this cool new zit there, which is awesome. And my anxiety doesn't help. I pick at my face and I don't realize that I'm doing it. Jeremy hits me, and then I get mad at him, and then I realize why he hit me, and I thank him. But yeah, The one thing with being bald is your head gets very cold. Like, it's weird. So I have these cool little hats and stuff that I've been wearing, but weirdly enough, right now my head's kind of hot, so I haven't been wearing it right now. But and pre-warning, if you sleep with if you sleep and a cat sleeps on your head, you might wake up with cat drool on your head. Yep, I did. And that was a freshly shaved, shiny, bald head, no hair, nothing. And my cat Lila drooled all over the top of my head. And I did not know it until we woke up. Jeremy's so cute. He rubbed my head and said, "Good morning, beautiful." Then he was like, "Oh God, what?" And he started touching my head. He's like, "I think the cat drooled on your head." And I was like, "What?" Yeah. And my brother-in-law was like, "Just imagine how many times she did that before when you had hair and you didn't notice." And I'm like, I know. And I would shower at night, so I would go to work with cat slobber in my hair and I didn't even know it. I know it's funny, but I was like, well, this isn't something I ever thought was gonna happen. But yeah. And it's really funny. We have two cats, Luca and Lila. Luca is going to turn 9 on March 9th, and Lila just turned 5 on February 1st. And Luca is a big, fat, old man and could care less about anything else other than sleeping and his food, and he does enjoy a good snuggle. Lila, on the other hand, she's a handful. She's a little monster. I mean, she's cute when she wants to be, but she's cray. And I totally forgot where I was going with. Oh, yes. I have a couple of wigs that I bought, and I got a turquoise wig. It's really cool. I put it on, and Jeremy and I were sitting in bed, and Lila jumped up on the bed and looked at me, and she goes, and then looked over at Jeremy and then leaned into him, and her eyes get so big, they're like saucers. And I swear, I was like narrating her, and I was like, Dad, I swear, if this is not Mom, we're gonna have issues. And she looked back at me, and she just couldn't handle it with the wig on. So I took it off, and she was like, oh, okay, it is you, okay. And then she was fine. So, but that was the funniest thing. I did not think we would have that, like, reaction from her. Yeah, she's something else. Enough about my cats. Other than that, I miss them, and I wish they could be here with me, but I'll be super prone to germs and all that stuff, and cats have a lot of those, so I'm just not gonna do that. And I can't change the litter box for 3 months after we get back. Like, I mean, not that it's not gonna be changed. My mother-in-law is coming to clean it out every day. Bless her heart, I love her. And she's here with Jeremy and I this time. So I couldn't have married into a better family, because I'm receiving so much support, of course, from my own family, but for people that came into my life when I was 14, and to have them show this much support and care and all that other stuff, it's crazy. It's heartwarming. Oh, so yesterday, we went to the store. We went to Nordstrom Rack, because I thought, and all of us thought, that my PICC line was going to be put into my neck like they did the catheter, the temporary catheter the last time that I had chemo. They did not. Of course, they put it in my arm. So, before that, I went shopping with my mom and my dad, and Jeremy was there too, and we bought a whole bunch of baggy shirts, long sleeve shirts, that were like lower cut, so it'd be easier, you know, for having it right there. And then I got the PICC line put in my arm, and I was like, huh, well, none of those shirts are gonna work now. So we had to go shopping last night for tank tops and sports bras because I didn't pack any because I didn't know how much I would actually be wearing anything like that. So while we were there, I got really hot and overwhelmed just from standing for that long. It just like hit me. All of a sudden, like, Jeremy looked at me and asked me if I was okay. And I started crying. And I was like, no. And he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, oh, babe. And I was like, it's okay. I don't know what's happening. So I had to sit down, breathe. And then I started laughing a little bit because when I cried, it landed on my pants and kind of looked like I peed myself. A little humor. And I did look like a crazy person. Oh my gosh. I was wearing this purple hat. And then I had my light gray shirt on with that orange ribbon on the front of it. I had green baggy sweatpants. And then I had black winter boots. And then what I did with the green baggy sweatpants was I tucked them into the boots so they wouldn't get wet. Because we got them so big that they would be comfortable. I was a hot mess. I looked like a sick person. I guess that's what it looked like now. So, yeah, it was cray. And then we got back to the hotel and I just started going into like hysteria. Jeremy, like, he makes fun of me, but in like a loving way. I don't know how to explain it, but he started laughing because I was like walking a certain way because like my back has been killing me and I have to walk with a cane, so I've been like hunching over a little bit more, and sometimes my legs are ready to go a lot faster than like the rest of me is, and I'm not ready for them. And when I hunch over, it prevents me from, because when I stand up, I like want to go all the way back and fall, and the last thing we want is for me to hit my head on something or, you know, whatever. So my coping mechanism is to hunch, which is awesome. So Jeremy started making fun of me, and he said that I looked like a crazy person, and he started running down the hallway, and he was all hunched over, and he looked like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. He was so funny. And I just busted out laughing, and I couldn't stop. And when that happens, I cannot walk. Like, I say that I can't multitask. Like, I can chew gum and walk, you know, as a joke. But the second you get me laughing, can't do it. And I typically can't really talk that much either when I'm walking, because I have to focus a lot on putting one foot in front of the other. And that's where a lot of the fatigue comes from. It's not even from physical things, it's mental, because you never think that you have to think about, okay, now right foot, now left foot, now right foot, and don't trip, and you know, you just don't think about all that stuff when you can walk normally. So that is definitely where a lot of the fatigue comes from, because there's a lot of stuff that I have to think of way ahead of time, and like before we go anywhere, we have to make sure that it's like handicap accessible and things that I never thought that I would be doing at 24. But hey, I have something that's extremely promising and I'm blessed. So I have things to complain about, but I also have things to be very happy about as well. So again, spacing out, but I don't fully, I just don't want to forget anything. I wanted to make sure that I had a video done before I'm like sleeping forever. I don't know. I think that might be it. Other than fun fact, for dinner, what sounded good to me was a fresh apple, which it was very fresh. There was no bruises or anything when you bit into it. It was awesome. So I had the apple, I had a half of a banana muffin, and chocolate ice cream. I don't know, it sounded all really good. I was really trying to eat stuff that sounded good before I started getting that metallic taste in my mouth, which, speaking of, gum, thank you, Mimi. She is a lifesaver. She sent this gum, and then she sent me this gum also. And I'm gonna warn everybody right now, don't get it. And I repeat, just like I told my mom, don't get it. It's rough. It's a fruity gum, and typically with fruity gums, I think that they like compare to like that zebra gum that's supposed to go away in like 30 seconds or so. That one was not going away. It was like a condensed form of like a whole bunch of starbursts, and they were like continuously exploding in your mouth. And like, that sounds good. Dang it, I don't even know how to explain. It was just bad. I did not like it. So I had to spit that out like immediately. And I'm going off on a tangent. I'm really good at doing that. Anytime you talk to any person with MS, be ready for 7 side stories. And I don't know, I've probably told like 20, so. If you talk to a person with MS that's receiving chemo, or you're just talking to Michaela. I'm good at that. I've always been good at that. But, okay, I think that I'm really done this time. I'll probably think of more later on, but it's okay. But, again, thank you all so much for all of the support and love, and just know that even if I'm feeling crappy and stuff, just know that we have so much to look forward to. I mean, I had to stop myself from like crying when she was telling me all of the great things that was happening to her, like while she was here. The visitor that I had, she's the one that's like, you know, taking hikes and climbing mountains, and like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And for her to be able to come in and say hi and be that person, like, that's what I aspire to be down the road when I start feeling better. Because the one thing that sucks about going into this is like not knowing, but it's a better not knowing than the not knowing about MS. Because with this, there's at least a schedule. You know, you have specific doctors, you have a note on the wall saying who all their names are and what medicine you're getting and stuff, so that's nice. With MS, you don't know. You can just wake up and can't see out of one eye, or you lose function in one limb, or you forget things, just like I did just now. It's a really crappy disease. It's not fun, and I don't wish it upon anyone else. I tell people I'm not happy, of course, that I have it, but I am glad that I have it now during this time when we have things that, you know, potentially can fix it, and I know that I am taking a different way than others might, because others might be really to themselves, not share things with people, and I just want to be open, because I know when I first started, I just kept looking for things and I couldn't find anything, or not much. So I want to be that person that people feel like they can reach out and ask me questions and stuff, because like I said in my first long video, I am an open book, as sometimes it's way too much, but I can't help it sometimes. It just comes out. I can't do it. Yeah. Okay, so for the third time, I think that I'm done. I love you all. Thank you so much for checking up on me and keeping up with everything, and either I or Jeremy or his mom, or, you know, whatever, we'll all try to keep you guys mostly updated on the page. So yeah. Okay, I think that's it. For the fourth time now. Sometimes I just drive myself crazy. Alright, I love you all. Thank you so much for keeping up with everything. Bye!